listening to the EPT Works Listen, Love, Give podcast. Hi, I'm Dr. Annette Cargioli, the Forgiveness Doctor. I'm here to help you create phenomenal health, happiness, and new life with energy, intuition, and forgiveness. EPT is short for Emotional Polarity Technique, an innovative, holistic emotional therapy that will change your life for good. You can subscribe to this podcast, get free EPT training at eptworks.com, and like us on Facebook. Want in on all my personal secrets to a healthy life? With EPT, you begin to love and care for yourself more than ever. This transformation opens you up to taking good care of yourself, maybe for the first time in your life. In the growing world of vitamins, herbs, homeopathics, eating plants, holistic programs, and an increasingly toxic environment, it can be overwhelming to change your lifestyle in the easiest and most effective way to better your health. I'm going to share my favorite natural remedies for your improved life and health. There's going to be lots of information, but I guarantee it will help you sort through the most important changes for you to make now, and it will also give you practical ways to improve your health with less effort. Okay, let's get started. First of all, you have an amazing body. We are living in a time where science has been able to discover the most healthy ways to take care of your body to date. And new things are coming out all the time, and so much of it is backed by scientific data. However, 100 years ago, even 500 years ago, people knew there were some basics that were necessary for a healthy body. I sometimes think with all the overwhelm, people get sidetracked and forget just the basics. So don't let yourself get distracted or confused with the latest fad diet or quick fix nutritional vitamin or fads. Let these 5 body basics build your foundation to better physical health. It doesn't have to be that hard. Here's the 5 body basics you need to think about: sunlight, water, food, sleep, and movement, or exercise, we like to call it. So we're going to start with number 1, sunlight. Aside from creating vitamin D, an essential nutrient for preventing many chronic diseases, sunlight also has these amazing benefits. It enhances mood and energy through the release of endorphins. It protects against and suppresses symptoms of multiple sclerosis. It treats skin diseases such as psoriasis, vitiligo, atopic dermatitis, and scleroderma. UV radiation also enhances skin barrier functions. It induces nitric oxide, which helps protect your skin against UV damage and offers cardiovascular protection, promotes wound healing through its antimicrobial effect, and has some anti-cancer activity. Sunlight helps melatonin regulate through the third eye of the pineal gland photoreceptors. Sunlight relieves fibromyalgia pain. It was a standard treatment for tuberculosis 100 years ago, long before the advent of antibiotics. And it has been used in treating neonatal jaundice. It can be used to sterilize, get this, your armpits and eliminate the cause of most body odor. And it has been used to treat seasonal affective disorder, also known as SAD, and it synchronizes important biorhythms through sunlight entering your eye and striking your retina. It regulates body temperature. It helps protect against melanoma and decreasing mortality from it. And it may be effective in treating T-cell lymphoma. The sunlight is not just about a suntan or skin exposure. It's about healthy light regulation. Artificial lights, smartphones, computers, and televisions all create an imbalance of healthy light exposure. And, for a lot of you, you don't even think about this. We're so conditioned to our modern environments that how light exposure is affecting us in our health, it just gets overlooked. So, besides sun exposure, there are two things I recommend to help balance unhealthy light exposure that our modern world has created and we can't live without. First of all, get a happy light, a full spectrum light that you turn on in the morning and leave on as you get ready. So, my happy light is in the bathroom. And as soon as I get up in the morning and walk into my bathroom and I'm looking in the mirror, I turn on the happy light and I get that light in my retina. So, the second thing is get the free Amber Screen app for your laptop to minimize the blue light exposure. You can get an Amber Screen app at www.justgetflux.com, and that's spelled JustGetFlux.com. And the reason you want to get an Amber screen cover, and that's an app, so it automatically does it, it actually will block the damaging light frequencies that come from your laptop. So you could get amber glasses. In fact, I've been in Staples and I've bought readers that were amber colored, and they were explaining on the box for the glasses how it helps with minimizing blue light exposure that can cause health issues and sleep issues. So those are the two things that I recommend for getting your sunlight and getting basically your healthy light balance. So the second thing is drink water. This isn't obvious, but I hear people say all the time when they come in to see me, I just don't drink enough water. Well, you've got to figure out that this is something you need, and you need clean water. So here's one of the ways that I have learned to drink more water, because this was a challenge for me. I recommend pouring a 32-ounce glass of pure water before bed, take it to your room, drink it first thing in the morning as you're getting ready to start your day. Then drink at least one other 32-ounce glass of water later in the day, and drink water with meals and throughout the day. So if you can do a 32-ounce, that's those big gulps, you can basically start your day with water, and that's going to hydrate your whole body, and it's going to be super good for you. So the third thing is eat good food. This is the most challenging in our environment, no doubt about it, because we are just inundated with toxic foods, and we have our favorites, and we've got our addictions. And so this one takes a little time, but you really shouldn't make it as too difficult. And I always recommend doing one change at a time. So number one, eat organic food if possible. So I do try to buy as much organic as I can, although everything I get isn't organic. But, I try to do mostly organic. And check out thrivemarket.com for discounted clean organic foods. It's kind of like Costco. It requires a $60 a year membership. So again, check out thrivemarket.com for discounted clean organic foods. That's, your things like almond butter and some of those expensive things you can get at a discount at that website once you get a $60 a year membership. Now, your body also needs leafy greens, something we don't always eat a lot of, healthy protein, and good fatty acids. Fermented foods also help to make your colon a lot more healthy. Fermented foods include things like kefir, yogurt, kombucha tea, sauerkraut, or fermented veggies. And that's like one of those kind of overlooked. People don't realize how deciding to eat those fermented foods on a regular basis really is critical to your colon health. So by focusing on the amount of protein you consume, and I'm a big advocate of counting protein, I don't think about counting carbs or counting fats. What you really need to consume and count and be aware of and get the habit of being aware of is the amount of protein you consume. You need 60 to 70 grams a day. And when you focus on your protein consumption, you'll cut your sugar cravings way back and your overall cravings for food and junk food. Now, let's see. A good protein shake will give you maybe 18 to 28 grams of protein in one serving. And Greek yogurt will give you as much as 14 grams in a serving, and a slab of chicken breast will give you anywhere from 20 to 28 grams of protein. So an egg isn't really your best deal. Eggs, I think, are about 6 grams of protein, and they're kind of high in calories, but they are a protein source and they're a complete food. So those are some of the examples of, you have to start thinking, what do I eat? How much do I actually get in a day? And you need to pump it up to 60 to 70 grams a day. Number 3, if you are prone to low blood sugar, and a lot of people are prone to low blood sugar, possibly because they don't eat their protein, or the protein they eat, they just don't manage very well. So if you know you're prone to that, and one of the ways you know is you overeat and you find yourself sleeping after a meal and having no energy to get off the sofa. So number 1 for prone to low blood sugar, just give up the wheat. Just eliminate wheat products completely. And that could be one thing that you change, that you have to change first. So many people find that just eliminating wheat makes them overall feel better. The other thing, if you're prone to low blood sugar, is eat 5 smaller meals a day instead of 3. Now, this information is not new. This is from the 50s. This has been around forever, but nobody likes to talk about it because it means I have to change. But I don't like to think in terms of, 5 smaller meals. I just think of protein snacks. So you make sure you have a usable protein in each meal. So an example would be, you eat a smoothie for breakfast. I make 2 and save 1 for an afternoon snack. Eat a half of a Think Thin bar, protein bar, as a mid-morning snack. Eat protein with lunch, like meat, cheese, yogurt. Eat a protein smoothie for afternoon snack, and then eat protein with dinner. So that would be my description of those 5 meals. Inositol, which is spelled Inositol, some people like to call it I knows it all, is a great supplement that can help balance low blood sugar. It is naturally sweet and comes in pill form or powder. So not being able to wake up in the morning, even after a good night's sleep, can indicate either chronic low blood sugar or an underactive thyroid. Now, I mention that because a lot of people who have their thyroid their thyroid's fine, and they're saying, I still can't get up in the morning. People who struggle getting up and waking up, usually it's because their blood sugar drops so badly in the night that it's hard for them to think and get it together in the morning. So a lot of times I will recommend having a protein shake in the evening before bed, or actually adding inositol, which is so easy to take. I mean, when it's powdered, it's naturally sweet. You can eat it off the spoon, or a lot of times in pill form, it also is very naturally sweet, and you can just eat it or swallow it. So number 4, I'm going to cover what I consider essential supplements. I think everybody should take a green food supplement. Unless you're just an amazing eater of greens, you probably don't get enough greens. So my favorite is Standard Process green food, but there's a lot of green powders, green foods on the market in pill form and powder form. And, you just should commit to say, that's how I get my vegetables. And it doesn't mean you're not going to eat vegetables otherwise. It just means you're supplementing your vegetables because it's tough to get them all in. Another essential supplement is probiotics. Now, some people won't need as many probiotics if they get good with their fermented foods, but a lot of people aren't too good with that, and because of the foods they eat that are kind of toxic or just not as good for them, probiotics is essential for good colon health and cleaning up the mess that you might have in your body with inflammation. Fatty acids such as fish oil, flax seeds, hemp hearts is another one. I just love hemp hearts. I think they're a delicious food. You could probably buy them at that online organic store and get them at a discount. And they're pretty tasty. So that's a way to get some foods using a food, flax seeds or hemp hearts, for fatty acids. Although I'm a fan of fish oil. People who use flax oil really have to have good sugar balance, or they don't convert the flax oil to be usable. So fish oil is why it's a little more important for people who tend to have sugar regulation issues, which is a lot of people. My favorite protein, which I would consider a supplement, is Sun Warrior Sprouted Fermented Brown Rice Protein. I buy it on Amazon, but I think I might be getting it at the organic website. It is organic and really clean. And that's important because anything you eat or consume every day needs to be clean of chemicals and additives. So, I mean, you might eat some stuff now and then, like you might have a margarita. It's loaded with chemicals, loaded with sugar, but you're not going to have a margarita every day. And if you are, you might want to change that habit. An awesome colon cleanser that also helps with constipation. And this is kind of one of my secrets. A lot of people, because of how they eat and they're just, their stress level, they end up with constipation. So that's not good for their healthy colon. There is a product called MGO7. It's MAG07. And we carry it in our office, but you can also find it online. That over all the things I've used for people with constipation and colon issues and wanting to clean a colon, MAG07 is amazing. It's just a no fail. I even used MAG07 with a lady once who was on chemo drugs, and the chemo drugs would cause constipation, and they were giving her another drug for the constipation that was not working. MAG07 got her going normally, even with the chemo drugs. It's just really, and it's not a laxative. So it's a colon cleanser that can be used on a daily basis, and you're not going to do any damage by doing, how laxatives shouldn't be done every day. So a great food, I'm real fan of incorporating foods that are superfoods into your life that people used to eat, but now we kind of go, what? I think my grandma has that. A great food to use as a blood builder is unsulfured blackstrap molasses. It's high in iron and potassium and minerals. It will help with unresolved period problems. Now, if you've got a teenage girl, you might be real hard pressed to get her to do the blackstrap. My recommendation is take 1 to 2 tablespoons 1 to 2 times a day. When I use it, I put it in hot water. It melts right into the water and becomes a drink, kind of like a nice hot molasses flavored drink. But it's watery, so it can be done. I mean, you wouldn't know it was molasses necessarily unless you're a fan of molasses. You can add a tea bag or drink it alone. I've also had people who put it in their coffee and thought it was delicious. So it's a great superfood. Now, under food, I'm also going to talk about environmental toxins. And I put this under eat good food because many of our body toxins come from the food we eat or the drugs we consume. Let's face it, you are never going to escape it all, not in a modern environment for sure. So this is a real deterrent to good health for many of us. I recommend using a far infrared sauna daily, or at least 3 times a week, to assist your body in releasing toxic chemicals and metals through your skin. This far infrared technology has been around for over 50 years. It was actually used to detox firefighters who were overexposed to toxins during the 9/11 crisis. That's how good it is. I mean, it has literally been shown to allow the skin to be the release of these toxins that are held in the body at a cellular level. There are so many things that, programs, and there's like superfoods and all kinds of recommendations out there that you could spend money on, that you could take orally, pills, or you could go get chelation therapy, which is very expensive and time consuming, to help release these toxins. It's a real problem. I believe that everybody ought to have a far infrared sauna in their house, and they ought to use it. I mean, it is the simplest, and I want to say most enjoyable way to release toxins from your body and to kind of bypass this problem that exists in our culture of just absorbing that in our bodies and how it interferes with our optimal health. So here's where you can buy one of these amazing far infrared saunas. And I've had mine for, I think, over 5 years. Love it. You can buy one for under $1,500 from Costco online, and they will deliver it to your home and drop it on your driveway. It takes about 90 minutes to assemble it. It pretty much is already pre-built, and it snaps together, and you screw in the heaters. A lot of them, they come with like a CD player so you can listen to meditation music. I watch TV when I'm in mine. It is the size of a small closet and plugs in to any regular outlet. Here's the bonus. The bonus when you are using one of these infrared saunas is that you will burn 600 to 800 calories in 30 minutes in one of these bad boys. Because we are exposed to so many environmental toxins, I highly recommend this product for everyone. It is so simple. It's like a little closet, you just commit to it. And when you first get it, you really want to clean up. So I recommend doing at least a 30-minute sauna every day for 6 months. You just build it into your hygiene. That's what I did. Once you've gotten yourself cleaned out, because it does change, how your smells change, everything changes, and you lose weight because, you carry extra weight so that you aren't as toxic, because if there's more of you, as you get more toxins inside of you that are stored in your body, you're going to hold excess weight just to balance out this toxic effect in your body. So you do actually, a lot of people, when they do this, and because they're burning so many calories they wouldn't otherwise burn, there goes that latte you got at Starbucks, burn up in the sauna. Yeah. So I love it. You commit to it, and then you only really have to do it 3 times a week, but most people enjoy it so much that they don't want to miss doing it. I know I don't. I easily get in 6 saunas a week, and I try to get 7. I actually had a sauna before I got on here. So number 4, this one, get good sleep. That should be a question that you ask if you're any kind of health provider or if you're an EPT practitioner. That is a great question to ask. How much sleep do you get? How's your sleep? If you don't sleep good, then it's time to make it a priority to heal this. If you're working with somebody with EPT and they say, oh, I don't sleep good, they need to get this covered, because you could work with them and, actually, there's a lot of people who get EPT and they come back and they never told you they don't sleep, and they'll say, I'm sleeping so good since you did that EPT, which is kind of amazing to me. However, if you've got somebody and you're struggling with them and you find out they're not sleeping, that's part of the problem. It's like water and food and air. You need sleep. So number 1, proper light exposure can support healthy sleep patterns. Using the happy light in the morning and the amber computer screen that shows up on your screen at night can really help balance that healthy balance of light. Number 2, this is one of my favorite, another superfood. Tart cherry juice has naturally occurring melatonin. Buy the tart cherry juice concentrate and take 2 to 4 tablespoons, it's like a thick cherry syrup, in water in the evening. Tart cherry juice also helps the kidneys and achy arthritic joint pains. It's amazing. And I have people who just that one addition, they feel fantastic. Their aches go away, they sleep better. It's a great way to kind of assist in sleep. I like it a lot better than giving someone melatonin, because melatonin can sometimes feel like a drug to a person and they can't wake up in the morning. It's hard sometimes to gauge how much to give. So number 3, lavender oil used under the nose and on pulse points can help relax the mind at bedtime. And number 4, Calorad is a liquid protein supplement that was originally marketed as a weight loss product. When taken at bedtime on an empty stomach, Calorad induces healthy sleep and increased growth hormone production. The increased growth hormone production increases collagen production. The extra collagen that is produced is used to fix and repair the body while you sleep. Here's the great part about Calorad and why it was marketed as a weight loss product. Your extra fat becomes the fuel used by your body to engineer the repairs that you can now make because of Calorad. Bottom line, most people experience better sleep with Calorad almost immediately, and some people actually lose weight and love it for that too. So Calorad, even though it's been marketed as a weight loss product, it is one of my favorite supplements that's kind of unusual, and you would have to search far and wide to understand it and find it, but it can still be found and purchased, usually online. We do carry it in our office. Number 5, I already spoke about this, but EPT can help people have better sleep. And sometimes they tell you they're sleeping better before they ever told you they weren't sleeping good. Number 6, sometimes for women, hormones can interfere with good sleep. I recommend standard process Ovex taken at bedtime. When the problem is hormones, Ovex works like a charm. I mean, it's kind of amazing. Women will come back and be like, I love my Ovex because when I take Ovex before bedtime, I sleep. I sleep better than I have ever slept, it seems. So Ovex is incredible for those women who it may be hormonal. All right, we're at number 5 of 5. Movement or exercise. This is probably my least favorite thing that is good for my body and your body. This is a no-brainer. You do have to move your body to maintain health. Find an exercise you enjoy, such as yoga, CrossFit, walking. I like walking, swimming. You get the idea. And commit to doing it. I have to admit, and I already have, I confess, I hate exercising. So here's my routine. I use a vibration plate. Some of you might know what that is, and some of you have no idea. This is a machine that you stand on, and it has varying speeds that rock your body back and forth. So it vibrates. The plate that you're standing on vibrates back and forth. It helps to build your core because your core, your muscles have to keep renegotiating this turn, and especially your core gets stronger, and your body, like my gut actually holds in from standing on this vibration plate, and your core sets the tone for how everything else holds together. This machine was developed to help astronauts restore bone and muscle mass after having been in space. So I also wanted it for maintaining my bone mass. I'm 55 now. I got it when I was 50 for my birthday because I said I need healthy bones and I need them now. So I use it 10 minutes a day, and I usually do it before I go to my sauna. Now, sitting in the sauna for 30 minutes is considered a cardio workout. I love this. I'm watching TV. I'm sweating all the toxins out. I'm burning calories because of the heat up and the cool down actually functions like a cardio workout. While I'm not currently doing any other exercise routine besides these 2 things right now, and I also do daily walking. I do usually a lunch walk and I do an afternoon walk as it gets warmer and the weather allows. There are 2 other exercise routines that I can highly recommend that I've used in the past and loved them, but because I hate exercise, I tend to get lazy over them. But the 2 that I would totally highly recommend, and for people who don't like working out, the first one is the slow burn workout. And you might have heard people advertising this type of workout on the radio. They'll tell you, you come in and you do the slow burn for 20 or 30 minutes with someone who helps you, walks you through it, and you do it once a week and it changes your body. A 30-minute workout once a week. So when I heard this with the book, I kind of heard about it and I was like, this is my kind of workout because I don't want to do it any more than once a week. However, I found that I really needed to do it every 5 or 6 days, which I had to then count days because I really want to forget about my workout. But I love it because it only takes 20 to 30 minutes every 5 or 6 days. And I got to tell you, when I did it, I got outstanding results. The shape of my body was improved, and I seriously only did 20 or 30 minutes. I barely broke a sweat. And Ron used to laugh at me because he'd say, you ought to do it closer together. But the book says, nope, 5 or 6 days, you have to let your muscles recover after it. And still didn't like the activity, but I got to tell you, slow burn workout works amazing. You can buy the book, look at it, you buy some weights, and you can do it at home. Amazing workout. The second exercise routine that I can recommend that I have done in the past for long periods of time is a series of 5 yoga type exercise that you can find in this little book that has a very cheesy title, The Ancient Secret to the Fountain of Youth. Seriously, this set of exercises can be done by anyone. I've had elderly people in their 80s do these postures, and they notice a difference. The routine is done daily and only takes 5 to 20 minutes because they recommend you only do what you're capable of doing. And whatever you're capable of doing will benefit you. And I gotta say that when I first started this, I just thought it was crazy. But I noticed in the first week, I felt the way I felt when I had done like jazzercise classes, and I wasn't doing nearly the kind of workout that I did in a jazzercise class or those old exercise classes we used to go to. This really did. The Ancient Secret to the Fountain of Youth, these 5 yoga type exercises are amazing. I used to do them every morning, and it was easy for me to do in the morning because I had 5 kids that had to get dressed for school, and it was chaos. So I really could only do 5 to 20 minutes, and I felt great doing it. So I can highly recommend that. I think it's a fantastic way to incorporate movement into your life. Finally, I believe daily meditation or prayer is crucial to a healthy mind, body, and spirit. My favorite way to start this practice is to pick a time of day you can do it. Pick a chair that you will do it in, or a place in your home. Start with this prayer. I love you, God, and thank you. Repeat this prayer and fill in what you are thankful for. And do this for an hour. Maybe start with 30 minutes, but really an hour is a real minimal amount of time to do alone time or silence time or God time, and to nurture your spirit that way. The secret to making permanent changes in your life is to only make one change at a time. Start with something you can do for 45 days. You may start with eliminating wheat, or adding protein shakes, or drinking tart cherry juice in the evening. Once you have that change down, pick another change. Like, I think I'm going to start daily meditating and find a God chair in my house. Or start adding healthy light. Get that free app on your computer and get yourself a happy light in your bathroom. Or maybe commit to taking a handful of supplements, the essential supplements I was talking about, the green food, the fatty acids, and the probiotics. Just pick 3 and start taking those and commit to saying, I'm going to take these daily. Eventually, you will create a healthier lifestyle out of the energy of loving yourself more and more. There is no point to trying to create a healthier lifestyle out of the feeling of guilt because you eat like crap or because you don't get up off your butt and take a walk ever. There is no point to creating a healthier lifestyle out of the energy of self-hatred or resistance. You want to do this because you love yourself. Always make healthy changes out of the energy of love for yourself and the life you've been given. Since learning to love myself and my body over the years, here's what my daily routine looks like now. I'm almost a little embarrassed to tell you, but here it goes. I wake up an hour early at 5:30 or 6 a.m. I've been doing that since about age 40 when I decided I really needed to commit to God time in my life. So I was never an early riser. So I'm going to tell you right now that the way I did this was I just prayed to God at night. You're going to have to wake me up because I don't get up. And if you wake me up an hour early, I will get up. And you know what? I would wake up every time. It was like, I couldn't believe it. And then I knew I had agreed, I'll get up. So I get up at 5:30 to 6 a.m. and I sit in my recliner, which I like to call my God chair. I put on my oxygen nose tube. Okay, not kidding here. I have an oxygen machine in my bedroom, so I can breathe pure oxygen and get oxygen treatments during my meditation. Okay, so there I am. I'm pulling up into, I got my robe on, my fluffy robe. It's dark in the room because Ron's still in bed. And I get in my chair. I'll tell you this about my God chair too. I was looking for the right chair, but chairs were really expensive and I just didn't have the money. So years ago, I bought a chair from Goodwill that was a really kind of chintzy little cheap reclining chair. And it's blue. And really, I don't have a blue house. And it's old and it's a little rickety. But now I love that chair. And Ron has offered to buy me another chair, but I would miss my chair. I've done so many good things with God in that chair. So I got my fluffy robe on. I'm sitting in my recliner. I'm pulling out my oxygen tank. Like I said, you're getting a little view here. I'm almost embarrassed, but it is my life. It is what it is. So I hook up. It's called a cannula or frenula. Anyway, it's a nose. Those things you put in your nose to get the oxygen. I turn on the oxygen machine, and then I drink my 32 ounces of water. So I'm half awake. I got my oxygen hooked up. I'm drinking my water. I kind of gulp it down because I just want to get it over with because I don't always drink water and I know my organs need that water. And then I spend about an hour in prayer and meditation or silence. Next, now I'm ready to get ready. I go into my bathroom and turn on the happy light while I put on various oils. Did you hear that? While I put on various oils. That is another podcast altogether. And I definitely will do that because we've got some oil experts out there. I listen to inspiring podcasts with my iPhone. So I like to kind of keep that whole God chain going for myself. So I bring my iPhone in and I listen to inspiring podcasts. And I'll tell you right now, my favorite podcasts that I like to listen to are Robcast, which is ROBCAST. That's a Rob Bell. He is so inspiring to me, and I will listen to him maybe 2 or 3 times a week, the same podcast, because I enjoy him and he's so rich. And the other one I like to listen to is a podcast that belongs to my daughter, Paige Cardioli, called Women in Preaching. And it's basically just a short sermon by a woman. And I enjoy that because I never heard a woman's voice in preaching as I grew up. So it amazes me and inspires me to hear young women just giving a wonderful, inspiring sermon. Those are my 2 favorites. So I'm in my bathroom getting ready with my happy light on and my iPhone there, and I'm feeding myself with something wonderful to listen to, which I also think is really important. Next, once I get all ready, I go to the kitchen and I make 2 protein smoothies, one for breakfast and one to take for a snack later in the day. The morning smoothie has a generous handful of fresh spinach thrown in. So I don't just take greens and pills. I do eat a handful of fresh spinach every day in my smoothie because it doesn't really change the taste and I get it in. And I'm not likely to eat it otherwise. I get bored with it. I take my morning supplements with my smoothie. Mid-morning at the office, I will drink a Synergy kombucha tea. So that's my fermented food. Love my kombucha tea. Delicious. For lunch, I eat whole foods, usually healthy stuff, but not always. I'm not perfect. You might see me have a margarita sometime, or a bunch of corn chips, which, corn chips aren't too bad, but generally we bring our lunch and Ron fixes our lunch. I'm really blessed that way. Sometimes I fix it, but most of the time he fixes it and he fixes really healthy foods. I take my lunch supplements at lunch, and then at around 4 in the afternoon, I drink my other smoothie and I take my final supplements for the day. When I get home from the office, I like to do a 30-minute far infrared sauna. If you can picture me, there's nobody home. I'm like that commercial where I'm running up the stairs, taking my clothes off to get in the sauna. Maybe you don't want to picture that, probably not. While the sauna is warming up, I go to my vibration plate for 10 minutes, and I usually look at my phone while I'm on the vibration plate. While I'm in the sauna, okay, I'm going to confess here, Ron and I have rigged our oxygen tank to be able to we hook it up to a hose that's in our sauna. So while I'm in the sauna, I also inhale pure oxygen from my oxygen tank because that's a really healthy thing to do. And because I have it, I might as well. So I'm rigged in this thing with my little nose and, tubing. And while I'm in there, I drink another 32 ounces of water. I also, while I'm in there, like to watch my favorite Netflix show in the sauna. Currently, I am binging on Parenthood. Love it. It's so nice and kind. But I also love Call the Midwife. Around 6 or 7, I eat a light, healthy dinner. Because I've had that protein shake, I'm not that hungry, so I kind of pick and eat what I want. I go to bed around 9:30 to 10:30, and currently I'm taking Caloradh before bed. When I'm not taking Caloradh, I usually drink a glass of tart cherry juice in the evening. Love doing that. Now, don't be intimidated by my crazy routine. I didn't get there overnight, and neither will you. Go easy on yourself. Do one change at a time, and you will really enjoy finding ways to love your body and your life. And it'll pay off. It'll pay off immediately, and it'll pay off over time. Think about how healthy you're going to be when you've got grandkids, or, how you're going to be able to help your adult children kind of navigate how to take care of themselves better. It's nothing but a beautiful payoff. An EPT practitioner can help you love yourself and your life more than you ever thought possible. With greater self-love and acceptance, you will be able to make healthy changes in your life out of the energy of love, and miracles will happen. This is not where you thought you were going. It's so much better. As always, you can subscribe to this podcast, like us on Facebook, and go get your free training at eptworks.com. I'm Dr. Annette Cargioli, the Forgiveness Doctor. Until next time, listen, love, give. EPT works.